Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel Phone Mania. So in today's video, we are going to compare the Realme GT versus Poco F3 GT versus the Oneplus Nord2. So let's start from the build and design on these both. So first of all, let's talk about the Realme GT. This have a plastic back, but if we case the color of the Voyager Grey, that color is almost like a suitcase design. That's the theme color of the Realme GT Master. So that have a vegan leather at the back, but this guy Luna White and Cosmos Black have the plastic back. And when we compare these two handsets, that means the Poco F3 GT and the Note 2, these both handsets have Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection at the back. See, so it feels premium when we hold at the back. And if we compare which one is perfect to hold, then I would say Realme GT and Note 2 are very comfortable in hands because they are very slim, thin and all. Let's compare the weight. So first of all, let's talk about the Realme GT. Actually, this guy have just 174 gram of weight, so it's very lightweight, you could see. And if you took the Voyager grade, then it would be 180. And if you observe the thickness, it is just 8 mm. And if you compare the Note 2, see, this is a OnePlus Nord 2 over here, and this has a thickness of 8.2 mm versus 8 on the Realme GT Master. But actually these both are very much pretty to hold, almost the same, and it weighs 189, so just 174. So this is one of the slimmest and the light phone out there. And the Poco F3 GT on the other hand, it is not comfortable as these two guys. Actually this is a bit heavy because of the 5000 mAh battery, so this weighs about 205 grams. And it have a thickness, it's almost nice by 8.3 mm, but still it is heavy than both these handsets as well as led. So in terms of comfort, I would give a win for these two guys because it's very easy and very light to hold in the hands. But in terms of the build and design, we should keep in mind that these two handsets have the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection versus just a plastic back. And when come to the front display, both these guys have full HD panels on the front. So this is the full HD panels, and both these three handsets have Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection in the front. So no doubt it is capable of some light scratches and even some more intense scratches, and also Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection on these three guys. And now let's talk into the display category. So guys, those three displays. So what guys do you think? So these both displays are full HD display, that means 1080 to 2400. So first of all, let's talk about the Realme GT. So this is the Realme GT, you could see, and this is having a display size of 6.43 inches, and same as the OnePlus Nord 2, this is also having 6.43. So these both are almost identical, you could see. And let's talk about the Realme GT first, and this have a PPA 409 PPA, and this guy on the OnePlus Nord 2 also has same 410 PPA. Okay, you could see. Okay, still nice on both. So 108, and meanwhile this guy, so the Poco F3 GT is having an advantage of 10-bit display. These two guys are 8-bit, but this guy is 10-bit. So there would be more shades when compared to the 8-bit displays. Okay. So in terms of display, this having a slight win along with the refresh rate also. I will talk about the refresh rate later. So OLED display 120 Hz and 395 ppi is over here. So these both have identical 409 or 410 ppi, and this guy is having a bit less 395 ppi, but it's a 10-bit, so that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so now let's talk about the refresh rate, and at a glance both these displays are amazing. Excellent viewing angles, perfect sharp. I really like both these displays. Okay, so if you say which one is best in displays, I would say both, almost three were exactly neck and neck in terms of display area. So I would give a tie for these three in terms of the video playback test. And now let's talk about the refresh rate. Actually this guy is having 120 Hz of refresh rate. Settings, display and brightness, more, screen refresh rate. So this is having 120 Hz of refresh rate over here. And now let's move to the Nord 2, and I think in terms of refresh rate, Nord 2 is a bit outdated because it's just having 90 Hz refresh rate, and 90 Hz on 2020 it's a bit outdated. You could either choose 60 or 90 on the OnePlus Nord 2. And finally to the Poco F3 GT. So let's check the Poco F3. This is also having 120 Hz of refresh rate. So you could see the refresh rate is 120 Hz. So this guy, that means our except the Nord 2, both is having 120 Hz of refresh rate. Okay, that's pretty good, nice. And in terms of the touch sampling rate, I would say, actually I have already done a video regarding touch sampling rate. I will give the link in the description. Okay, so actually the touch sampling rate of the Poco F3 GT I'm getting about 460, and in terms of Nord2 I'm getting just 120, and in terms of this guy, that means the Realme GT, I'm getting about 240. Actually I have done live tests with this. Actually I'd go to the description and see the link over there. Okay, so you can check it by yourself. And now next, let's move to the speakers. Actually, you can see this is just having a mono speaker. Meanwhile, the OnePlus Nord 2 as well as the Poco F3 GT have stereo speakers, so it would give an immense sound effect as well as stereo effect also. So let's check it out. So let's start from the latest, which is the Realme GT. No sound right now. Okay, I feel it's just okay. Loudness was not too high, not too low. It's was just in the bar. And now let's move to the Node 2. Okay. Oh, it's both are at maximum volume. Okay, you could see this is, so you could see this is at maximum volume and same as this. See. Oh guys, a lot of difference. There is stereo effect as well as you could get much more loudness. See. Now let's move. So that's a clear win for the OnePlus Nord 2, and let's check in this guy too. Okay. Okay. So guys, in terms of audio, that was a clear win. In between these two, actually Realme GT Master versus Note 2, that was a clear win for the Note 2. As well as if we compare, the GT was, because of this mono speaker, the GT loudness was low, stereo effect was missing over there. But these two guys are almost neck and neck, but actually I would give a slight win for the Note 2 or the Poco F3 GT. Still it have a separate win for the speakers. Still I am feeling a light advantage. If you compare, I would say it around 1 to 5%. I like the Note 2 more than the one Poco F3 GT, and Note GT is definitely way ahead of this guy because of its mono speaker. It lags over there. And now let's move to the camera department. Okay, let's turn around. So just look at the designs. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the Realme GT. So Realme GT is having a 64 megapixel camera and then an 8 MP ultra wide as well as a 2 MP macro, which no, just neglect that. And now let's move to the OnePlus Nord 2. It's having a 50 MP camera with OIS. This guy is just having EIS. No OIS is there, so keep in mind no OIS. So those who are interested in vlogging are keep in mind. And this guy also is having no OIS, and it is also having a 64 MB f1.6 and 8 MB ultra wide and a dedicated macro. Okay, so these two guys have monochrome, and versus this guy is macro, and this is, I think, this one also. Let's go to the camera UI really quick. Okay, so this is the camera UI. Let's check is there any macro mode available. So guys, no macro mode. And let's check. Actually, after the merger, the Node and this guy's UI is almost exactly the same. You could see actually some more features is there on this guy. And let's move to the 64 MB photo. Let's check it on photo. Is there any macro mode is available? So guys, no macro mode is available on both. Yes. So this third one is almost neglected on these two guys because it's a monochrome, that is sort of filtered. But this guy, that means the Poco F3 GT, is having a third camera, that's a macro, so you could get really close to the subject. So let me open the UI for you. Okay, you could see the macro mode is on the photo, and so it's over here, macro mode dedicated. So dedicated macro mode is available on the Poco F3. So the third camera makes sense, or at least a single sense on the Poco F3 GT, but these two makes the third camera no sense. But in terms of front camera, these two guys are 32 MB, so excellent. That means Sony cameras is on here, f2.4, so 32 MB cameras over here, but this guy just having a 16 MB. So in terms of front camera, I would give a win for these two of them, because the Note 2 as well as the Realme GT. But in terms of back camera, I would say it's a win for the Note 2. So overall, in terms of camera, I would give a win for the OnePlus Note 2 because of the OIS. So actually these two guys doesn't have OIS, as well as the output. In terms of color saturation, this is Poco is bit oversaturated. Realme does the job almost perfectly fine, but Poco is the colors are a bit sharp, and actually if you like really sharp and punchy colors, then Poco F3 would be perfect for you. Else it's I would go on for an overall, I would go, because of the front camera 32 MB, rear camera have a OIS along with the nice filters, and also I would give a win for the Note 2. And let me give an example, that means an idea of how the video solution works on these guys. If the EIS is really nice, then it could almost manage. So I would just play a video. So guys, first look at the video on the Realme GT. So guys, you can see it's really shaky. And now let's move to the Poco F3 GT. And guys, comparatively this guy is okay without OIS. It have an stabilization mode over there, so it's a bit better than that Realme GT Master. And now to the from the OnePlus Note 2. Okay, so guys, in terms of video solution, I would give the win for the OnePlus Note 2, because the Poco F3 GT, I would say it was due to that extra video on, that means the mode on, that means the steady mode on, as well as I was running a bit more fast on this guy, that means OnePlus Note 2, and still it manages to take great output over there, that means the trees over there and all. But overall, it was Poco F3 GT was also nice with the mode on, so no and not much issues, but with the help of OIS it can go all the way further. So that's why I would give a win for the OnePlus Note 2. And I would show some quick samples also. So guys, look at the exact same output. Okay, you can see the leaves, it's nice. And Note 2, okay, Note 2 is a bit better in terms, apart from the Realme GT, Note 2 does the job slightly better. And in terms of color, you could see the green over, and you can compare the green and yellows over there. Actually the yellows are really sharp, and then flowers are really sharp, and the leaves are also really sharp on this Poco F3 GT. So if you like a bit saturated colors, then the Poco F3 GT would be for you. And I would show some more. So actually this is the maximum 64 MB mode on the Poco F3 GT. I would say the same peak over here too, and this is on the Note 2, and as well as the same peak over. Okay, so you could see, and you could see the difference in the color saturation. So it's entirely different from what you see. So you could see that exactly these two almost have same outputs, almost same. You could see, let me zoom in really close so you could get. Okay, this guy, the Realme GT, could even get more further, because 50 MB versus 64 MB, and this guy, let's see. Okay, so the Poco F3 GT and Realme GT almost gets really close to subject, versus Note 2 would be locked at some point, but still okay. So and so these are some sample shots. Okay, so you could see the color of the leaves, it's really sharp, guys. Okay, I would show on this guy too, see. And on the Realme GT, see. So this is how it looks. The leaves are very different in Poco F3 GT, but overall I would say, if I want to pick one in terms of camera, both front and rear, then this would be for me the OnePlus Note 2. And both these guys are a bit nice, but if you compare with the Note 2, I would give a win for the OnePlus Note 2 in terms of cameras too. So let's now talk about the processors. Actually, this guy, that means the Note 2 and the Poco F3 GT have the Dimensity 1200 versus this guy is the latest the processor. That means the latest Snapdragon 778 5G chip, and both these three handsets have 6 nanometer chipsets. And let's talk about the 5G. Actually, the Realme GT got 8 bands of 5G, OnePlus Note 2 got 6 bands of 5G, and the Poco F3 GT got 2 bands of 5G. And as well as 5G, let's talk about the star value, star hash 07 hash. Okay, star hash 07 hash, and star hash 07 hash. So you could see the sound value is very minimalized on this guy. Actually, the it's just giving head size 0.815 and body size 0.4. And let's look at these two guys. It's both are above 1. See, head size 1.14 and body size 1.15. So in terms of the sound value, that means the Poco F3 GT has done a great job. Okay, so I really like in terms of sound value. Just keep in mind, not much factors. And now in terms of processor, actually, I would say the order would be Snapdragon 778, 10 or what we call Dimensity 1200, then Snapdragon 870. So it's a bit better than the Snapdragon 778. Okay, but I have done a CPU throttle that actually in terms of long-term gaming, the performance would be stable for the 778. But Dimensity 1200 varies. Actually, the CPU at the first time it was if you get around FPS of about 50 or something, 60 or something like that, it would be dropped because the performance was dropped from 100 to even 78 or 75 on the Dimensity 1200 versus this guy just dropped 5%. Wow, that's really impressive. Actually, I have already done Antutu Benchmark, Geek Benchmark, CPU throttle test as well as stat sampling rate. Actually, I would give the link in the description, so do check it out that too. Okay, so that was regarding the processor, and now let's look at the UIs. So this is having, let's see the UI over there. So above phone, so the Realme GT Realme UI. So actually Realme, let's look at the Realme one more feature, that's the RAM expansion is available. So that means it could use the external memory as 5 GB. You could extend the RAM up to 5G, but it acts as swap memory because it's not exactly recognized as RAM, sort of swap memory, but still nice to feature. And let's check any bloatwares. Yes, it have some bloatwares like Josh, Hayfun, and you could see Amazon Prime Video, Realme Link, some Loop. Actually, some minor bloatwares are there. And in terms of Note 2, it's perfect, no bloatwares. And in terms of MIUI, it has some bloatwares, but you would be able to uninstall them too. So in terms of UI, that would be a clear win for the in terms of I would give a win for the Oxynoise. And let's talk about the batteries. So 4300 versus 4500 versus 5000 mAh battery. So I am planning to do a battery charging speed test too. So guys, stay tuned and subscribe. And in terms of fast chargers, 65-watt charger, 65-watt charger, 67-watt charger, so almost get the. But in terms of battery, this guy is having a least battery 4300, but actually I think it would get all day long. And now 4500 is just perfect, and this is more than enough. Actually, for the gaming phone, it need like that. And then the best part of the Poco F3 GT is this guy, that's the triggers, guys. So you could see immediately the game mode will be launched, an excellent trigger capability. Shoulder buttons, RGB lighting. So in terms of gaming, if you're a gamer, I would choose the Poco F3 GT at any sort because this is really nice. And let's talk about some more areas. In terms of overall, if you ask me an overall phone, then I would say OnePlus Note 2 would be better. And even if you are looking for a design, not this guy, Voyager Grey is excellent in terms of, that means a unique design is for the Voyager Grey. Okay, so that would be perfect for you guys. So and in terms of the fingerprint scanners, let's check it the first in 3 2 1 and go. Okay, fast. And face recognition. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, face recognition, actually cameras is right now in front of me. And once again, okay, fast, blazing fast, I would say. And okay, so both these guys are excellent in terms of fingerprint scanners. Let me check it out once again. So I will show you in 3 2 1 and go. Boom. and OnePlus Nord 2 in 3 2 1 and go. Boom. And Realme GT in 3 2 1 and go. Wow, so all are doing a great job. So now in terms of front camera face recognition, so I set it up camera a little bit aside. So okay, fast, let's once again 3 2 1 and go. Okay, fast. And now in OnePlus Nord 2. Okay, fast. Now finally to the, sorry, that was unlocked with the fingerprint. Let me use another finger. Okay, in 3 2 1 and go. Okay, it's done. Okay, it's fast. Okay, so both these guys are okay with the fingerprint scanner, face recognition, and this has a side mounted fingerprint scanner. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I will drop the links of other videos which I have done in the description. So guys, stay tuned and subscribe. Signing off, it's Phone Mania.